What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of 100 Yards of Football and Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host and producer, Logan Landers, and join me here today to recap the SEC Football Media Days events is my guy from the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network, Jay McLovin. Jay, how you doing, my friend? And give us a recap. What all happened over these past couple of days at the SEC Media Days over there in Dallas, Texas?
Yeah, absolutely, man. This is an exciting time, obviously, for SEC football in the state of Texas, and as well as Oklahoma, because now we are adding Texas and Oklahoma to the SEC ranks, and that's going to be a lot of interesting things come about. Number one, playing Oklahoma now in the SEC realm is going to make the Red River Shootout look like nothing. I mean, this is going to be an ultimate bloodbath, honestly, on both of these school sides. So that's going to be a great rivalry to watch happen. The Texas A&M Texas rivalry is going to be a huge thing. And then you got Texas and Arkansas will be reuniting their old rivalry that they used to have. I mean, when I say Arkansas hates Texas, Arkansas gets geared up.
You ain't kidding.
So, I mean, this is a lot of great football. Teams like Georgia, teams like Bama, they're going to have a lot more competition now to compete for that number 1 through 5 spot in the playoffs. I mean, there's a lot of implications. You look at a guy like Quinn Ewers. According to Sarkisian, this guy is playing or has got the ultimate confidence right now coming into this season. Texas is returning the majority of their team. They lost a few components, but he said the one thing that Texas has, and I talked about this earlier with Alabama, is depth. Texas is super deep at safety, running back, quarterback, all the key positions where you want to be deep at, they have. And it showed tremendous craziness that Archie Manning decided to stay with Texas rather than testing the open waters, because that guy he could have got a spot anywhere, honestly, Logan. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he chose to come back, play with Sarkisian, play under this team, speaks volumes. And this team, according to Sarkisian, is full of fighters. When you look at Bama's no slouch. DeBoer over there is, they had the number 2 recruiting class. I expect to see big things out of Bama. What I really want to see mostly, though, are how teams like Auburn, Arkansas, and even like a team like Tennessee, who could be up or down, how they're going to fare in this upcoming season. I know over in Arkansas, they seem to be pretty high on their quarterback situation and their team and what they're able to do. They have eyes, according to Sam Pittman, they have eyes on 10-3. And Sam Pittman, Monty Kiffin, the late Monty Kiffin, rest in peace, and our thoughts are with the Lane Kiffin family of Monty Kiffin. He was the inventor of the Tampa 2.
Yeah. Iconic, man.
And Sarkisian said, if anybody plays the Tampa 2 versus us, I'm going to destroy them because Monty Kiffin taught me every little detail about the Tampa 2. So I don't know if he's going to see a lot of Tampa 2 come this way. But Logan, LSU is going to be in there. I mean, this is a great time right now for football and SEC. I mean, I fully expect a lot of dogfights in this. And there's a lot of teams that are opening up with big-time games. I think Texas has Clemson. Or not Texas. Georgia, I believe. No, is it Georgia?
Yep.
No, Alabama.
Yeah,
Alabama has Clemson, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, yeah.
I think it's Texas. Texas has somebody opening up. I don't know if they play A&M towards the end of this season. So that rivalry towards the end. I think Texas might have a smaller ranked team ahead of them. I don't know about their schedule, but good Lord, my tongue is tied.
You're just excited. That's it.
Nevertheless, it's a word I'm trying to get out of my mouth. Nevertheless, though, there are some top quality teams. I mean, if you look at it, you got Bama, Texas, Oklahoma, LSU, Georgia. I mean, there's like 7 or 8 high-quality teams within this division. So to get that SEC crown is not going to be for the faint of heart. And I fully expect to see a lot of SEC dominance going for the title in those top 12 teams.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at this, at really the SEC, it felt like this year was a bigger buzz than most, right? Because you have, as you mentioned, the 2 brand new teams coming over. You have the expanded playoffs as well, going to 12 teams. And you have the giant hole, in a sense, left because one of the biggest, really just football personalities, let alone SEC coaches, and Nick Saban wasn't there in a sense of being a coach. He was there as an analyst. He said he had to go and get his press pass. I remember I thought was funny. But I know I think it was with Auburn, with their head coach Hugh Freeze. He joked about Oklahoma and Texas coming in, and he said a quote. He says, "What, you mean I have to play Alabama, Georgia, and these two? Oh, great!"
And don't forget, Logan, that the quarterback from was it Georgia, I believe it was now the quarterback over at Kentucky, Vandegrift.
Yeah, Brock Vandegrift. Yes, he went over there
Brock
to
Vandegrift,
help
and
out Mark Stoops.
Also one of your defensive men is also
yes. Yep, Damon Jonas Johnson.
There you go.
As well.
So you got some guys even over in Kentucky that have Georgia ties.
Yeah, of course. And like you said, Mark Stoops, obviously, he knows what he's doing, right? He knows what he's doing. And Kentucky's an interesting team, a team who kind of has been middle of the road. You know what I mean? They haven't been down the dumps, but they also haven't been the top dog, haven't been the crown, haven't been kings in a minute. So that's an interesting young team there. Auburn is always interesting, as we know. But I came away from the media days looking more so when you look at Arkansas, right? When you talk about Sam Pittman, how do you feel? Do you think this is kind of a make or break year for him, Jay? Because since he's he's coming into his 5th season, he's 23-25, and he went 4-8 last year.
Yeah, and he's got the first 5 games away in different venues. He's not even home for the first.
I know that's tough. That is tough.
That's crazy. And I mean, and there's good teams. I know A&M was in there, Auburn's in there, Oklahoma State's in there, I believe. Alabama's in there. I mean, there's a lot of high quality teams that he's going to have to face before he even gets a home game.
And the thing about Arkansas that makes me, I don't know if scratch my head is the right analogy. I don't know if it just makes me intrigued. But, Jay, they're bringing in 39 new players this year, which includes 22 over from the transfer portal. It's pretty much a brand new team.
Yeah.
And let's not forget who they brought in this offseason. They brought in former Arkansas coach Bobby Petrino. Bobby Petrino. Name from the past. So it's interesting, right? It's going to be tough because, like I said, they're facing Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss, and Texas.
And for those of you that don't know, Petrino is the one that developed Lamar Jackson at Louisville.
Yep, that's true. That is true.
I mean, this is the guy who has some big time development skill sets.
Yeah, and when you look at Texas A&M, you just mentioned them. They come out the gates hot too. They faced Notre Dame week 1.
Yeah, Notre Dame.
That's their opener.
Yeah.
Mike Elko, the head coach. I mean, I kind of like these media days, just these kind of behind the scenes where you get to see the coaches more relaxed because it's before the season kicks off, so they're not all tense. Mike Elko said, talking about that week 1 game versus Notre Dame, how it was going to be, and also it's Elko's first season as head coach. He says, "I'm a football coach. I'd like to play no teams of that caliber."
I mean, it's true though. I mean, on all honesty, I mean, it's a tough realm to be in.
Yeah, it is, and it's going to be interesting, man. I mean, Auburn, with Hugh Freeze and company, we'll see how that goes. Georgia, of course, we know has had a up and down off season with all their stuff going on off the field. I mean, Alabama's got a whole lot of brand new shiny toys over there, and of course, you have other teams like, Vanderbilt and South Carolina and whatnot who are still hanging around and could always play spoilers. But it felt like this year's media day was more hyped up, was more covered, and just had a little bit more oomph to it than years past because of all the brand new changes, all the coaches that have moved on or going somewhere else, all the hyped up players and prospects who are going to get playing time this year, and all the games we get early on that are going to be just insane. And if not, I'm kind of glad because it's not just the fact of years past where it'd be like, all right, you get to play a cream puff for 7 weeks, and then you get a good team. Then now that we've got all these top contenders and they're all fighting for a spot in that national championship playoff, it's going to be an absolute war. It's going to be fun, though, man.
One of the big topics at the media day, and Logan, I know you saw this, was how they're going to be introducing AI into the conference, whether it be data download from all of the teams and stuff that they're going to have to go up against. I mean, there's going to be a lot of data that they're going to be or this AI system is going to be compiling to help these coaches prepare for their up and coming games. So there's going to be a lot of analytics brought into the SEC this season.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, right? That's the thing with just the technology age that we live in. It's good. I mean, they had a seminar there, right? It was at the Omni Hotel. So that was on Thursday. And because, I mean, like I said, they're going to be having, so they had people on talking about AI and how that's going to affect it, guys from all over, right? With Auburn and whatnot, and a bunch of big guys and business guys from Google, ESPN, a bunch of different tech companies, so on and so forth. And the message basically was that AI is already being used a lot in college football, mostly for marketing, as we see with NIL deals and just everything like that. And we're going to see obviously more and more of it. And like I said, it says it's meant to be a tool, not a replacement. And I think that goes for a lot, not just for football, but for a lot of stuff out there with all this brand new technology. So it'll be interesting just to see how much more involved that could be just for broadcasting, for packages, for everything. Right. So that'll be also pretty neat to see as well. But I'm looking forward to it, man. College football right around the corner. We're kicking off here soon, and it's going to be fun. This is just kind of the precursor with these SEC Media Days. And Jay, I appreciate you, my brother, coming on the show and doing a little bit of a recap of all the events from this past week out there in Dallas. And guys, if you had a favorite moment, maybe a favorite quote from a coach or whatnot, put it in the comments. Let us know. What did you think of the Media Days? Who was your highlight? Did you have a good quote that you enjoyed? Did you have a team that you came away with feeling a little bit better after hearing their coaches and whatnot speak? We're going to hear it in our comments on Facebook and on YouTube. And until next time, go out there, enjoy your weekends, everyone. Go have a nice time, and we'll talk